Here we go, man. And we're live. Thank you for joining us for another episode of the Alamo City Sportscast. I'm your host, Joe Garcia, and today we're going to be joined by our guest, the one and only Chris Leija from MCS General Contracting. We're going to be talking about Aaron Rodgers and that brutal injury that he suffered on Monday Night Football to start the season here, man. 4 snaps, the boy goes out, man. Chris, man, thank you for joining us, dude. I mean, what were your first thoughts, dude, when you saw Aaron Rodgers go down after 4 snaps?
Dude, that was sad. If you some people are like, oh, you can't feel bad for him, but you got to feel bad for him, man. I mean, that was a nasty pop to the Achilles, man. I don't know how everybody's like, oh, the hype that he was going to bring and whatnot. You hate to see it, man. You hate to see injuries in any sport. Whether you hate the guy or you like him.
Yeah, and man.
That shit.
I've never been like a big, huge Aaron Rodgers fan, nothing like that. But I mean, the thing is too, as a football fan, you never want to see or wish injury on another player. Whether you're a Cowboys fan or not, you don't want to see Dak holding his ankle all messed up or anybody going down for injury like that. You might despise the other team and whatnot, but I mean, to see a player like that go down in the way he did after he invested so much time, energy, and effort into this, New York Jets team. I mean, he was out there. He was involved. He was talking with the staff. Yeah, dude, everything, dude. And all that time and amount of effort that he put into this is not the way you want to start your season, man.
No, for sure. That's one of the worst ways to start a season. Your first drive in a new team, you're excited to get after it. And then, hey, man, but sometimes the body just gives out on you. 39 years old. Nobody's going to be like Tom Brady. I don't think we're going to see another person play for 45 in the NFL.
Yeah, there's a lot of chatter, man, going on around right now. I think on all the morning shows that I was watching, on the 4-letter networks and FS1 and listening to, even Sirius XM, going and dropping my son off in the morning and listening to what they were talking about early on in the morning. Now the question mark is, it's about Aaron Rodgers, man. Like, at 39 years of age, has Aaron Rodgers played his last game? That's a big question,
I think that was the last time we see Aaron Rodgers play a football game. I don't know if he can come back from that kind of injury, man. I mean, we saw Kobe in the NBA do it, but that's that Mamba mentality that he had. He was driven to not give up just yet. But I don't know if I would hope he can come back for the sake of you want to go out on your terms. You don't want father time or injury taking you out of the professional sport you're in. You want to walk out on your terms and walk away from the game happy. But if he can get his head right and the rehab process goes well, who knows, man? He may be able to come back next season and see what the Jets can do. But hey, man, you got to give Jets some credit too for not giving up on this game. But as everybody is now saying, Josh Allen, bro, is trash. I'm gonna have to start showing a little bit more respect to Dak with them turnovers, man. Because Josh Allen, holy shit,
he was bad. That bad.
That dude is. What does he get paid? Is it gonna be this year or next year? Because I don't know how much you want to give that guy.
I recognize that voice.
What's
going on, my man?
What's up, Jimenez?
Dude,
what's going on, dude?
I was literally in the neighborhood, man. 10 minutes ago, I called Joe, and I was like, you know what? I'm down for today. Let's make this happen. Let's talk some sports. But you guys direct traffic, man. I'll be the passenger today. But you were talking about Josh Allen. Josh Allen's trash, man. Let's just call it what it is. You got to call it spade for spade, man. That dude sucks. And you look at it, and people are like, Jimenez, dude, it's just one game. Okay, first of all, 4 turnovers yesterday. Last year, he led the league in turnovers last year with 19. He had 14 interceptions and 5 fumbles. The year before that, he had 18 turnovers. The year before that, he had 16. So 16, 18, 19, and now to start the year with 4. Just because he's a good fantasy football quarterback doesn't mean he's a really good quarterback. Because, come on, man, I take a look at Josh Allen. and I see white Jameis Winston.
Oh man.
If Dak Prescott is black Kirk Cousins and Kirk Cousins is white Dak Prescott, then that means Josh Allen is white Jameis Winston.
So is he gonna have? So what's the over under now for turnovers this season?
God, it's got to be over 20, dude. Got to be over 20. You know, Mark Sanchez back in the day with the butt fumble, right? Isn't that exactly what Josh Allen did yesterday in the second half?
Jeez,
it was kind of a butt fumble.
Somewhat, yeah.
Dude, how can you be in the league so long? And I'm glad, because this is not new. There have been a lot of us, myself included, over the past year who have been like, wait a minute, does Josh Allen suck? And now I think about it. Who are the quarterbacks you'd rather have than Josh Allen? Yes or no? Let's just raise your hand. Say yes or no. Would you rather have Mahomes? Yes. Right?
Easy.
Would you rather have Joe Burrow? I know Burrow's hurt now, but when Burrow's healthy, would you rather have Burrow?
When Burrow's healthy, you're taking Burrow all day.
Okay.
At this point, you're taking Josh Herbert.
Herbert?
Well.
You take Herbert over him? Jalen Hurts? Dude, I would take Tua right now.
Yeah.
Over Josh Allen.
As long as Tua doesn't get hit in the head again.
You can make the argument Lamar Jackson over him. You can make the argument Brock Purdy, because Brock Purdy doesn't mess up.
Brock Purdy is hey dude, that first game, he's showing, hey, last year was not a fluke. And if he keeps it going, damn, that's gonna be Mr. Irrelevant is gonna be something else, dude.
Exactly.
With that defense that the Niners have too, he just has to make sure he doesn't turn the ball over, and he's gonna be just fine.
But what you're seeing right there with Brock Purdy, though, is exactly what Dak Prescott needs to do. Dak Prescott doesn't have to win the games; just don't mess up.
Look at these are the name of available quarterbacks right now by OddsShark. Available quarterbacks: Wentz, Flacco, Ryan, Rivers, Foles, McCoy, Simeon. And then trade candidates, right? You have Keenum, Trubisky, Minshew, and Bridgewater. That's if the Jets are looking to go ahead and make a trade to maybe try to salvage their season. But no, do you go with the veteran QB, or do you just roll with Zach Wilson?
You roll with the MILF Hunter, dude.
You think so?
You go with Zach Wilson.
I agree, dude. That Jets defense is looking sharp.
They are.
Zach Wilson just needs to watch Josh Allen and do the fucking opposite of what he's doing. Don't fumble and don't throw silly ass interceptions. And if he can do that, I'm not saying the Jets are gonna fucking make this huge run or win 10+ games. None of that. But if he can just play smart football, take care of the ball with that defense that the Jets have, they have a chance to win a decent amount of games.
Joe and I were talking about this a few weeks ago, and I had made mention that Zach Wilson would benefit from having Aaron Rodgers in the locker room. And I thought that Zach Wilson would be the kind of guy who, after a season or two, learning from Aaron Rodgers, that it would rub off on him, because still a young guy. Back in the day, like when Steve McNair was the starting quarterback for the Houston Oilers, right? He didn't start right away. You had Cody Carlson and you had Chris Chandler that brought him up. And then you take a look at Aaron Rodgers, for crying out loud, was brought under Brett Favre. Jordan Love right now doing well was brought under Aaron Rodgers. So sometimes you don't have to throw them into the fire. Zach Wilson was thrown into the fire, but he got to see what Aaron Rodgers does during the offseason and maybe learned a little something. And now I'm optimistic that he's going to be something. I'm not saying he's going to be a great player or he's going to be a franchise quarterback, but maybe he'll have an actual career as opposed to, say, a Trey Lance, who might be destined to be a third stringer forever.
Yeah, another thing too is everybody's acting like Aaron Rodgers won't be at some time in the near future after surgery and whatnot on the sidelines with the Jets, with the headset, talking to Zach Wilson
now,
and the other players.
Did you see the interview with Wilson after the game where he was like, I love that man?
Yeah.
And it wasn't like, I respect him. It wasn't, that's a great teammate, or he's taught me a lot, he's a mentor. He kept saying the word love. I love that man. And I
also
think
learned good stuff from him in the offseason, like you said.
Yeah, I think there's a humbling that he got there because he was this hot shot coming in, top draft pick, one of the top 10 draft picks. He was also somebody out there who was making headlines for, banging his mom's friends and all that stuff. So, but now he gets to grow up a little bit, be less Johnny Manziel, be more Brock Purdy. And what you see is that if you have a very solid defense out there, you're going to see teams out there who don't need to be led by quarterbacks. They need to be managed by quarterbacks. And let's talk about the teams right now that didn't give up a touchdown this past week. Dallas Cowboys didn't give up a touchdown. They won 40-0.
Fucking 40-0 is nuts, dude.
The New Orleans Saints did not give up a touchdown. 5 field goals, bend but don't break. Then you see the Browns didn't give up any touchdowns as well. There was a fourth team as well. But if you look at it, the Jets have a solid defense, the Cowboys, the Saints, and it's almost the Niners. It's almost as though we're going back in time because it was pass happy 45-point games. It almost seems like we're going back in time and that defense is suddenly back in fashion in the NFL.
It's sexy once again.
I'm for it.
Yeah.
I'm all for it, dude. While it's fun watching fucking Mahomes throw all these touchdowns and get all these yards, I'm all about the defense, man. It's to me, the way I see it, it's like in baseball. People complain whenever it's 1-0 at the end of 9 innings. I'm like, hey, but that means the pitchers are doing what they're supposed to do.
Yeah.
So in football, if it's a close game, like the Saints were 16-15, it was the defense doing their job.
Dude, that was an exciting 16-15. I never thought I would ever say that, but that was two teams, two defenses imposing their wills on each other, and it was like, oh my god, I cannot believe these teams weren't scoring touchdowns. It wasn't that they weren't scoring touchdowns because they sucked; it was because the defenses were so freaking good.
So when it comes to the Cowboys and the Giants game, obviously we saw the Cowboys defense. So do you think if the Giants had a better defense, would it have been 40-0, or would it have been something a little bit more respectable? Or do you think just because the offense was so trash for the Giants, it was just going to be that? That was the direction the game was going into either way.
Yeah, the Cowboys were going to win that game anyway, regardless. That defense is stellar. But the Cowboys, it would have been a closer game had the Giants scored the first drive, gone up 7-0, made a statement, get the crowd into it. But the wheels came off the bus really fast. Joe Gonzalez reaches out to us on YouTube saying Zach Wilson going to turn into Willie Beeman. Unfortunate what happened to Rodgers. Willie Beeman, reference to Any Given Sunday, one of the most overrated sports movies of all time.
Careful now, you man. Careful now.
Dude, that whole speech that Al Pacino makes at the end.
God, dude.
It's like, oh my God. Have you ever watched sports in your entire life? Like, it was so unrealistic. Oh my God, it was so bad. But Cameron Diaz in that movie,
smoking hot, dude.
No, wrong word. Nugget. She was a Cuban nugget back then. Woo! My goodness, Cam Diaz back in the day.
Hey man, I'm gonna share this clip that I saw here. It's a picture that they put up on social media by Warren Sharp. We cannot watch primetime Zach Wilson and 5 more standalone games. Something must be done about that. And they put a picture of Aaron Rodgers. Look at this, man.
Yes.
They have the schedule that's coming up.
Week 4 Sunday Night Football,
Kansas City
against the Chiefs. Mahomes by 50. Then they've got the Chargers coming in week 9. The following week at Las Vegas. Then they got the Dolphins in week 12, and then week 17 against the Browns. Let's talk about this, because who did the Jets play next? The Jets play the Dallas Cowboys, 3:25 p.m. on Sunday. I have no idea what the spread is. I guessed last night on Twitter that it would be 15 points. I have no idea what it is.
At least.
And people are like, there's no way in the world it's going to be 15. I'm not saying that it's going to be 15. What I'm saying is that it should be 15.
Well, Stephen A., Shannon, and all them talking on ESPN earlier this morning, they were saying that they expect that the Cowboys are just going to shut out the Jets and it's going to be a massacre.
Well, I mean, come on, man. Zach Wilson going up against Micah Parsons, DeMarcus Lawrence, and that secondary and that pass rush, Mozzie and all those guys,
He'd be running for his life.
he's
Dude.
going to be running for his life. And so the spread, I'm looking it up right now. I'm going to look it up right now. See, it's the Jets Cowboys. Let me see here. Let me try to type this up. I usually have my laptop up. Spread. I'm going to go ahead and say it's probably going to be like 8 or 9, but it should be 15. It should be 15.
And look at this interesting nugget here of information that I got off of Twitter from Adam Schefter. I'm going to share this with you guys. Because Aaron Rodgers went down 4 snaps into the game, it says, with Aaron Rodgers done for the season, the Jets now will owe the Packers a second-round pick in the 2024 NFL Draft. And Rodgers had to play 65% of the snaps this season for the Packers to get the Jets their 2024 first-round pick.
Right.
He plays 4 snaps.
4 snaps. And he was running for his life on all 4 of them.
Yeah.
My brother texted us last night. He said, Aaron Rodgers, 1 drive. They say 4 snaps, but in reality, it was 5. And I texted my brother back.
My
bro,
God.
that was fucking cold, dude.
Okay.
Wow.
I see the spread right now, according to MGM. I'm sorry, Caesar Sportsbook, 9.5.
9.5.
Is what the Cowboys are favored. Dude, I am willing to offer 15. I'm willing to offer that. That is not just take the Cowboys and give up the points. That is do the upcharge, if you will. That's giving up more points so that you're not getting, plus 110, minus 110, get minus 130 or plus 230 rather. Give up some extra points because this is going to be an ugly, ugly game. And I know the Jets have a good defense. Sauce Gardner is the truth, man. That is a very good defense, probably a top 7 or 8 defense out there in the NFL. And you can say that they might get after Dak and force some turnovers. I get that. But at the end of the day, Dak Prescott's better than Zach Wilson. At the end of the day. That's
without a doubt, But man, I don't know. I'm not gonna
check out the video.
I don't want to hurt. I don't want to say something and then it fucking backfires and bites me in the ass come Sunday.
Look at this video. Adam Schefter shared this, and you can actually see the point in time where Aaron Rodgers' Achilles pops. Oh, man.
And by the way, they're playing at MetLife, right? Which is known as the worst field conditions in all of the NFL. And then you add the fact that it was pouring rain before the game. It's strange how there are certain stadiums out there that have crappy field surfaces and they do nothing about it.
Yeah, they were saying they want to see the grass back, man.
Every NFL fucking stadium should have grass. All right, that should be out of the question now. I don't want to hear this fucking talk from the owners that it's too much money and no, dude. You have all these players who have these non-contact injuries, and some of them are season-ending injuries, and you still don't you really can't justify making the fields all grass. There's a reason why when the World Cup comes to the U.S. in 26, that every stadium's going to have fucking grass because they don't play with that shit.
The best
they don't want they want the best conditions for the best players in the world.
The best games are on grass. Most definitely. Yeah. Josh Jimenez reaches out to us and says Dak probably saw last night's game and said, F that, Allen, with 3 INTs. McCarthy, hold my beer. Watch what I can do.
Dear God.
Oh, you know what? This is funny. They have a question for you, Chris. This is Tim Gonzalez. He says, Chris Leija, did you win the bet with Rudy Campos?
Oh, God damn it. Here we go. No, I didn't fucking win the bet. But I hit up Rudy right after the game was over. I didn't watch the Texas Bama game because I was watching my fucking Red Raiders choke away the game
against Oregon.
Yeah. So I didn't watch the game. So everybody was talking about it and they were like, oh, fucking Texas looked amazing. Bama looked like ass. I couldn't tell you for sure myself personally, but based on what everybody was saying, apparently Texas, quote unquote, you know what? I'm not even gonna say it. I'm not even gonna say what the Texas fans say every time they win a couple games.
They rolled over that tide, baby. That's what they did.
I told Rudy, I go, hey, let me know. I got you. Where do I drop off the case? So he told me, he goes, hey, let me get my scheduling figured out, and we'll figure this out. But
You know what tastes better, dude? Nothing tastes better than free beer, bro.
That's right.
I lost 2 cases of beer because that stupid thing.
Hey, maybe this will make you feel better. Look at this picture somebody put up on social media here.
Nice little Photoshop of Tom Brady in a Jets jersey.
Look at that. And then look at what they put on there. Imagine.
Dude, this would not work at all.
They can dream. They can dream.
Okay, first of all good players are products of a system. Tim Duncan was a product of Pop's system. Michael Jordan was a product of Phil Jackson. And then you go to football, it's the same way when it comes to offensive coordinators, when it comes to head coaches, certain play callers. You are products of your system. And there is not somebody in the Belichick family tree that is currently there with the Jets right now. So there's no system there in place. This would be completely foreign to him if he went to the Jets right now. Would make absolutely no sense. And that's why right now Zach Wilson is the one to go with, man. It's the one to roll with. See what you got. The MILF Hunter, baby. Dude, I mean, I respect it. I respect it. I mean,
he's like, if you ain't over 35, I don't want it.
He's bizarre. He's bizarro Leonardo DiCaprio, Leonardo DiCaprio, 25 and under, please. And he's like 35 and over. Please.
Give me the over.
He wants that. He wants that sweet
like,
berry.
How old we talking?
Oh, shit.
Very nice. Hey, what's going on over at MCS, baby? Well, tell us about the business.
Oh man, we're cranking and going, dude. I'm excited that we're finally under 100 degrees for consecutive days.
Maybe you get Mike out there for a little pour.
Yeah, it's gonna get under 90 degrees. Hey, it gets under 90. I'll be there.
We did a pour yesterday, and it was a salt finish. And I took some pictures, and I had my guy doing the salt. And I was like, man, this is why I need Jimenez to come in here and do the salt bay motion on here, and let it rain on the concrete. But yeah, man, I got work all over the place. Got a job up in Cordillera Ranch coming up this week.
Say hi to George Strait.
I'm telling you, every time I go in there, I'm looking for him, man. I'm looking for him. Like, where you at, George? Where you at? I got a bottle of Cody. Go. I don't know if that's a drink.
There you go.
We're doing good. The good Lord upstairs takes care of us. He gives us plenty of work. It's just finally getting out this heat and just keep grinding, dude. I mean, it's not easy work, but somebody has to do it, and we're enjoying it, man. And hopefully the year keeps going the way it's been going. I close out the year on a good note. I'm trying to close out some bigger commercial projects, because right now the pool side is what's keeping us busy. But I'm trying to close some commercial contracts and hopefully, do some bigger slabs and some parking lots and whatnot.
Yeah.
But
now let's say somebody wants a pool. Let's say somebody wants a pool. How do they make sure that you are the guys pouring the concrete?
So the company that I do pool work for, their name is Palo Verde Pools. They're up in Bernie. Honestly, if you get your pool done through them, 90% of their jobs, I'm the one doing the concrete for them. They have another guy that does work for them, but not to talk down the guy. He can't compete with me. He can't keep up with me. But you could tell him, hey, we know MCS does your concrete jobs. We want them to be the deck guy on our job. And yeah, man. I mean, there's a bunch of pool companies we used to do work for. We don't do work for them at the moment for different reasons. But Palo Verde Pools is the company we do work for the most. And yeah, man, you hit them up. I'll tell you what, though, man, pools are not cheap. So
no, not at all.
If you want to get a pool done, I hope you're ready to spend some money, because even the cheap ones, man, even a basic pool with a basic small deck, I mean, they're not under 80 grand anymore. It used to be you can get a pool and a nice deck for 40, 50 grand. Then COVID happened. That shot up the prices of all material and labor. And then, inflation, the magical word that they always bring up. So, I mean, some of these pools, man, we're going to be working on a couple pools that are, upwards of $1 million. These things are massive. And I look at them and I'm like, this is a water park in your backyard. I'm like, damn.
There's got to be a hot wife there, man. There's got to be a hot wife there. Ain't no ugly wife getting $1 million pool, dude. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So
y'all seen Tony Parker's pool, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude.
They're basically building one of those right now over here in Bernie, and I'm like, dude, what do you? I look at the homeowner, look at the husband, and I'm like, bro, what do you do for a living that you can afford, a pool that's over $1 million? Because one, whether you're paying for it with a loan or if you're paying for it cash, holy shit, dude, you're stacking that money.
Look at what Chris Gonzalez says. I just got in. What have I missed so far? Has Mike been horny yet? I'm like, man, you already know.
We're getting there. Have I yet?
Mike's horny meter's always at 1,000, steady.
Well, you know what? Talking about Cameron Diaz, yeah.
You know what? Come on, that was just more of a, FYI. If you've never seen this movie,
we got to give a shout out though, man. We got to give love where love is due, and that's to our boy Bear County Social Apparel, bringing the memes early in the day, man. Look at that guy.
Yeah. Okay. So first of all, there's a Mike Jimenez who worked at Fox 29, which is where I used to be a news reporter. He was a reporter over there. And now he's reporting at Ken's, where I used to be a producer. And I was watching TV the other day, and I was like, what the hell? There's another Mike Jimenez out there? I need to get this guy on the show on Friday. I'll reach out to him because I think it'd be a great battle of the MJs over there. But Baez from Bear County Social Apparel, who, by the way, is a sponsor of the Fantasy Gods on Sundays. Thank you for the meme out there.
Oh, we got another one. One more.
Okay, there's another one.
This is my favorite.
Oh my God, I will send that to her. I will send that to her.
No mames, man. Look at that picture, man. Look at Mike in the blue bonnets. Bro.
That is amazing. So you have Annie Agar in this field, right? And I've been photoshopped behind her. She's wearing this white dress with this hat, and she's looking like a nugget. Beautiful woman. That girl's a straight up 10, and to boot, she's also super nice. She's a sweetheart. And the thing about it is that is probably the greatest of the photoshops that Baez has ever done.
This is on there, dude.
Camera in hands, dude. If he could put a camera in front of you, a little camera on a tripod, that'd be perfect. That'd make it even better, dude. That one was funny.
Joshua Jimenez says, so what your day is, the other guy is bringing that soft, limp concrete. We need that diamond hard concrete by MCS.
That's true. That is true.
Oh, man.
See, dude, I told you. I don't even have to freaking money bags. He's like, why do you say all that? I'm like, dude, half the time it's not even me, man. It's the people.
I think it was me and Mike that gave you that phrase. The hardest concrete in the business.
It just stuck, dude. And it has now. It just every day is something new.
If you want a smooth, hard deck, you go to MCS Contracting right there. But speaking of money bag, let's show some love to Jeff Garcia from Locked On Spurs and Ken's 5. Again, daily content when it comes to your silver and black. We're talking about a daily podcast that can be listened to on Spotify, Apple Music, wherever you get your podcasts, or you can watch it on YouTube as well. I know Joe Garcia was one of the guests earlier this week. Now, Jeff Garcia is also on Twitter at Jeff G Spurs Zone, and he has a story today about the fact that yesterday the San Antonio Spurs waived veteran guard Cameron Payne. Cam Payne is no longer with the team. I'm a little bit surprised. Gonna be honest with you.
Why?
Now the Spurs have, 19 players on the roster. Now they're down to 18, and they got to get it down some more.
Oh, 17. It's 17.
It's 17 now?
Yeah.
At one point, it was 19. The reason is because Cameron Payne would be probably one of the 7 or 8 best players on the team.
No, he was crying and whining when he got traded. He was over there posting a video of himself, basically in tears. I don't want to go to San Antonio. I don't want to play with the Spurs.
He was in a situation there where he was playing with a good team.
Yeah, well,
I'd be pissed too,
bro. I ain't turning down money.
Oh, dude, it's beyond that, dude. When you already have money, it's all about winning at that point.
You know what? He didn't give San Antonio a chance because I guarantee you, if he would have come over here, he would have been booed up with some Latina somewhere.
That's right.
He'd be on the end of the bench playing 10 minutes a game when he could be playing
and
for
going home to a beautiful Latina.
Charles
Life is good, bro.
Charles
You
Barkley
have
says they don't exist, but Tim Duncan proved them wrong.
life is good. You go home to mama. You have dinner made. Your house is clean, smelling like fabuloso. It's a good day,
Hey, fresh flour tortillas, bro, coming out.
bro. I'm telling you, man. Campaign messed up. Done fucked
Dude.
up.
Don't let the fucking door hit you on the way out, dude. When they cut him, I was like, good.
Yeah,
bye.
Dude,
pinche
no,
mamon,
dude.
dude. Pinche mamon. Good riddance.
Yeah, so the Spurs couldn't use a guy that averages 10 points per game and 5 assists per game and 3 rebounds and all of that, in just 20 minutes of play. The Spurs couldn't use a guy like that. You're telling me that?
Dude, they want to keep their
but the guy
wins.
doesn't want
Then
to
who's
get
the backup point guard? Who's the backup point guard?
They don't have one yet.
They don't have one, and they're not going to get one.
They got a thing. Who do they have? They have
They got Trey Jones,
Trey Jones,
Blake
no.
Wesley, I guess you could say,
Wesley.
but Wesley's a combo
Oh, and
guard.
they have Devontae Graham.
Oh, Devontae Graham and his DUI self is not going to be backup point guard.
Why so? I'll keep
Well, hey, Chris,
I'm
we're
just
good.
saying. I'm just saying. I'm gonna jump off real quick, but hey, the guy didn't want to be here. Go on and get. Get him out of here.
Good riddance.
Let him bounce, man.
We'll see you in the comments, baby, because we're going to get horny later on.
Oh,
That's what we
Lord.
do.
I got to get ready to start cooking then. And then
There you go, man. Start cooking them. All right, Chris. Thank you, man. We appreciate
Oh,
you.
wait, Chris, before we let you go. Am I intimidating or not?
Hey.
Boy, you as intimidating as a goddamn Care Bear, bro. Come on. You know bro. My son probably come up to you and buck up to you, bro, and look at you like, come on, man, let's bring it.
No, it's because you know me and you know my personality.
Oh,
But Spernandez earlier today on Twitter was giving me crap about it all because someone mentioned something about me being intimidating. It was because of that fight. Show that fight at the UTSA game the other day.
I got that brawl up there somewhere.
That shit was funny, dude, because it for a second it looks just like you.
Oh, that's some
It
bullshit
does
right
look,
there,
dude. It looked like you.
That
man.
is some
I'm not even gonna lie.
bullshit right there. But there was a fight at the UTSA game, and it happened about 3 sections over from where I was at because I could see all the commotion and hear it all going down. And you see fights at NFL games, you see fights at college football games. But the video that we have here is Chingazos over at Putazos over at the
Alamo Dome.
at the Alamo Dome.
That looks
Look,
like
man,
you
I'm
for a
just saying-
second.
I'm
You was
just
wearing
saying-
the gray shirt and everything, man.
I wasn't
Hey,
wearing a
man, if I
gray
saw
shirt. I
you-
wore a blue shirt to the game.
You mean if I saw you at the bar and the way you drink your fucking beers, you ain't scaring nobody, bro.
Oh, man, that looked like Mike for a second, bro.
Am I drinking out of a straw? What the hell? Pinky out? Come on,
Bro.
man.
Bro, you're
Bro,
making love to that damn can,
Oh.
bro.
You're making love. Yeah. You're making out with the
I found that can's G spot and I went to town, baby.
shit. All right, man. I'm gonna hop off and jump on these comments, bro. I can roast this guy's ass right now.
All right, Chris. We'll see you
Be good,
later.
bro.
Later
All
on,
right, man. Thanks.
That's so funny. They're like, you're making out with the
You're making out with
the
the
ball.
damn can, man. I know you do it on purpose, too. I know you do it on purpose.
I had to do the side eye look.
Yeah.
The side eye look. But the fights at the UTSA game, it's almost like the Roadrunners graduated a little bit into that type of thing, that there's a reason why I don't want to take young kids to NFL games because NFL games are bad.
Oh, man, they're brutal, bro.
Now, there's different types of drunks out there. There are people who get drunk because they are angry at life and then they want to start fights. And then there's the happy drunk. I tend to be the happy drunk. Okay, I'm the I love you man drunk. Let me give you a man hug.
A bro hug.
Let me give you a bro hug. Let me give you.
You're the type of guy that'll lean over and be like, I'm gonna go home, man. I had too much already.
Yeah.
I'm taking myself out of the game.
I went up to Gus's Chicken and I had to sober up over there. Tim Gonzalez just now saying Michael talked to his beer can and say, "Hey, I'm effing cute, baby."
Making out with that beer can, bro.
Dude, okay. I'm effing cute. What can I say?
I thought it was Mike on that brawl.
Why? It looks nothing like me. I'm a dark Mexican.
Look, Chris Gonzalez, that fight was awesome. I saw the first blow. It was the section next to me.
And then again, this Friday night, the UTSA Roadrunners take on Army. It's going to be on ESPN. The kickoff at 6 o'clock. So think about that. I-37 at 5 p.m. when people are trying to get through to the Alamo Dome is going to be a natural disaster. I'm going to go ahead and say that 35 North, going from like basically where Fort Sam is, coming into downtown. I'm going to go ahead and say that I-10 going into downtown from, let's say, Culebra, Woodlawn area is going to be a nightmare. Downtown's going to be a disaster zone because you have college football Friday at 6 p.m.
These are the seats that are available this Friday.
All of them. All of them.
This Friday will be our last home game until October the 14th. Come out, support your Roadrunners. Help send them off with the W. Don't forget to wear your orange and blue. Pack the dome. And look at last week, because it was a weekend game. Everything was sold out. They had to open up the 300 section. They have the student section sold out, of course.
Yeah.
But there's plenty of seats to go around.
Did you see the Texas State president, the post that he made last night?
No, I didn't see what he put.
So if you look up Texas State University on Twitter,
okay,
it's his name is Kelly Damphouse, and he said, "A bet is a bet, a deal is a deal. Great game this weekend. I love the energy inside the Alamo Dome. Both of our fan bases created a great college football atmosphere. I'm looking forward to hosting you and your UTSA football fans in San Marcos on September 7th, 2024. And it shows him wearing a blue blazer with an orange and blue striped tie.
No.
So he had to wear UTSA colors today. Now, he didn't say meep or anything like that, but it was actually a pretty cool photo. And it shows him pouting like he's upset. It's good. It's a very good thing. But, props to Texas State for doing that. They were 2 touchdown underdogs, and he took that bet. I would have been confident, too, after whipping up on Baylor as a 27-point underdog. But, again, they're going to be playing again next year.
Who was it, Taylor? Was it Taylor?
Who's that?
That was wearing the blue, orange and blue from Texas State?
Oh, it was their president.
Yeah, I think it's President Taylor Egme. There it is. I see it. I got it right here.
Yeah. Taylor Igme is the president of UTSA. So he's referencing him, saying congratulations to the president of UTSA. If we can show that photo right there. It's a pretty cool photo. He's all pouting, like he's sad. I thought he was holding a beer, but that's a
Texas State.
It's a Texas State cup.
Yeah.
But look at him. I mean, he's wearing a blue and I wonder, did he have that color of a tie already? Did he have to go buy it?
Oh, they're probably sure that UTSA special ordered and had it sent to him.
Looks pretty good, man. But again, San Marcos, Texas State, they did a fantastic job over there. The band did a good job.
At least UTSA, they had the band in a nice place, man.
They did. They didn't have them up in the 300s.
Up by the roof, by the pigeons.
Yes, Longhorn band. We're not going to go.
We're not going. We're too high up.
Can you imagine? Had they gone, they would have witnessed UT beat Alabama. UT now ranked number 4 in the nation.
They missed history. That was arguably UT's biggest win in history, beating Alabama.
Jason Garcia says, could be Auburn colors. That's a good point. Tim Gonzalez is down saying, plus, don't forget, it's going to be raining potentially on Friday.
40% chance of rain.
That's right.
They said also Mike 2.0 got a standing ovation from both the UTSA and Texas State fans.
Man, I cheered for UTSA, but I drank like a Texas State fan, so my bad.
Jeez.
My bad. Dude, yesterday I finally went and took that final nap. That's the problem with getting older. And I do this when I go to Vegas, man. I party like a rock star. I am like Tim Duncan in his final years as a member of the Spurs because I can play like an all-star. I can party like an all-star, but I just can't do it back-to-back nights. I got to sit out the second night.
You got to have a little breather, little buffer there.
Yeah, I can't do it. And I have friends that are my age, mid-40s, early 50s. Dude, Jason Minix at San Antonio Sports Star, how he can do it on the daily, I don't know. Like Pledger, I understand. Pledger is early 40s.
Yeah.
And, I can kind of understand. But, dude, no one's like Minix, man.
He got that energy.
He can do it day in, day out, every day. have a handful of drinks, pound them back. Ryan Nagel, a little bit.
Yeah.
Miss Ryan Nagel, man. That's my guy. I'm going to reach out to Ryan Nagel this week.
Yeah.
I'm going to put that on my to-do list.
I think we should go ahead and have another sponsor read here.
You know, it's interesting. J-Par Real Estate, Cynthia J. Sanchez at 210-273-0748. She was telling me the other day that, you know, she also does claims adjusting. That's one of the things that she has done over the years at USAA, USAA rather. But every once in a while, when there is a hurricane that is devastating, she gets called into what's called cat duty. And it's just for like 2 or 3 days.
Yeah.
Where they pull her out and they go, hey, we have all these claims because of a natural disaster. They had her do that with Katrina. They had her do that with Harvey. And then the one that just hit Florida and Georgia and South Carolina the other day, about a week or two ago, they reeled her back in. They said, we need you for like 48 hours just to process claims. So she did that for a couple of days. But again, one of the things I will say this about Cynthia J. Sanchez, she was telling me yesterday that she has an offer in right now for a house, and she's hoping she gets it, but it's over $1 million
Nice.
of a house. That's going to be a great sale for her. Cynthia J. Sanchez, J-Par Real Estate, 210-273-0748. She's a fantastic realtor. Go to realtor.com, look up Cynthia J. Sanchez, and you'll see that she gets 5 stars across the board. And the biggest compliment you could ever have as a realtor, or for someone who's like me in finance, is getting the repeat business, because she is getting repeat business from people who bought a house from her 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago. Some people are already on their 3rd and 4th house that she's helped them get. And then others who just want to get like Airbnbs or rental properties go through her. Cynthia J. Sanchez, J-Par Real Estate, 210-273-0748. And if you're worried about interest rates, keep in mind the new builds right now have a teaser rate for the first 3 years or so. You can get it around 4 or 5%. It's better than the 7 or 8 that the bank is offering right now. Get that home that you want right now. And beyond get that home, a brand new home. And if you get a pre-owned home, though, she'll kick in a warranty for 1 year. Cover your appliances, AC, water heater, fridge, dishwasher, microwave, all of that stuff. Cynthia J. Sanchez, 210-273-0748. So RJ Ochoa from Blogging the Boys, he posted a stat line talking about the fact that there are the top 10 wide receivers in the NFL right now. Tyreek Hill had 215 yards receiving in his first game. Justin Jefferson, 150. Brandon Ayuk, 129. And then you've got some names that I hadn't even heard of in my entire life, like Tutu Atwell and Puka Nacua. Both had 119. Chris Olave of the Saints, 112. Stephon Diggs, 102. Calvin Ridley, 101. Michael Pittman Jr., 97. And Rashid Shaheed of the New Orleans Saints with 89. That's right, my Saints, baby, have 2 wide receivers in the top 10. And just behind them, in the top 25, you've got Michael Thomas, who had roughly 70 yards his first game as well. I'm excited about this. And I put out a personal power rankings yesterday for the NFC.
Yeah, I saw that.
And part of it was a test balloon to kind of see what Cowboy fans would say and do. Because if the Cowboys win a game 40-0 in a hostile environment, nationally televised in the sense that it's a primetime game against a division rival, to go over there and win 40-0, does that make them the best team in the NFC, or is that the best performance that an NFC team had? You can make that argument. I mean, dude, defensively, they were just killers. 7 sacks. Defensively, they were, blocking field goal kicks. They were, taking it to the house with a pick 6. They had a fantastic day. That was an A+ effort, an A+ game plan. Everything worked for the Cowboys.
I'm going to show your power rankings that you shared the other day.
Yeah.
There we are.
But I had it number 1,
Detroit.
The Detroit Lions. Not because I think Detroit is the best team in the NFC, but what I'm saying is the fact that they went into Arrowhead.
Yeah.
First game of the year, right after the Kansas City Chiefs unveil their Super Bowl banner, after they get their rings, and they went in there and they beat the Chiefs. Beat Patrick Mahomes. And I know Travis Kelce wasn't playing. And I know one of their star defensive players was not playing as well, who, by the way, just got signed. But that is a big deal. So I got to put Detroit number 1. I got to put Dallas number 2. I put San Francisco number 3. Brock Purdy, just perfect.
Yeah.
McCaffrey was just running wild. Number 4, Philadelphia. That was a tough road win, man. They went into New England, got that win. Number 5, I have Green Bay. Green Bay just owns Chicago.
Yeah.
They own that franchise. I feel bad for CT. Carolina Teague was frustrated. She's already throwing in the white towel, man.
I tried telling her, man, but she wouldn't listen to me. This is our year.
I have at number 6 the New Orleans Saints because they did not give up a touchdown. They got that victory that they needed at home, 16-15 over the Tennessee Titans. They picked off Tannehill 3 times, and people are like, well, what about the Falcons? Falcons played well, but they also played Carolina. Carolina's not that good of a team. And speaking of Carolina, they play the New Orleans Saints on Monday Night Football next week. There's going to be 2 Monday night games. This is going to be the early game. So it's very possible that my New Orleans Saints might be 2-0. Jason Garcia reaches out to us on YouTube, says, way too early. This is like preseason rankings of college football. Never too early to do a power ranking, my man.
I'll tell you
what are you thinking?
I'll tell you what. Jason Garcia is in the chat right now, and I got to go ahead and roast where roasting is due. His Seahawks didn't look too good.
Yeah, they got
trounced.
Manhandled by the Rams.
The Whams. I call them the Whams because their fans are always crying when they lose.
Hey, man, but they went all in for that ring a few years back, and they got it.
Yeah, they did.
They got it. So let's think about this. The Dallas Cowboys going 2-0 would be a big deal.
Yeah.
It'd be a very big deal for them to do that because statistically, if you start a season 2-0, you're basically in the driver's seat to make the playoffs. And you got to rack up these wins, and you got to rack them up fast. And if you look at the Cowboys' schedule, I thought that it was going to be difficult early on. But the Cowboys going in there, taking care of business against the Giants, winning 40-0. Then after the Jets, they've got the Cardinals, and you know the Cardinals suck. And they're going on the road against the Cardinals. And those teams, actually that team in Arizona and Phoenix, there are more Cowboy fans there than Cardinal fans.
Yeah.
That is a home game in a weird way. Then the Cowboys have the Patriots there in Jerry World. Dude, I think the Cowboys are going to be undefeated and 4-0 when they go in to San Francisco to play the Niners on October 8th. 4-0. Niners could also be 4-0 at that point too.
Yeah.
Dude, this is going to be a good season for the Cowboys. And I'm not overselling it because you know I've been saying this throughout this podcast, and when I was doing halftime and all that with the San Antonio Sports Star, I was saying that this was the year for the Cowboys. That if they're going to make any moves, this was the year because there's not a lot of good teams in the NFC this year.
No.
But what are we seeing? We're seeing the Eagles struggle early on. They'll probably pick it up, though. You're seeing the Niners start midseason form. You're seeing the Saints play good defense. But the Cowboys are right there, man. The Cowboys can be considered a top-tier team in the NFC.
I think they're going to wind up getting in a wild card. Usually, that's what I predict for the season for the Cowboys. I think the Eagles are going to go ahead and win the division. I think the Cowboys will go ahead and have to fight for their playoff lives in the wild card. It is what it is on that end, you know?
The thing is that you're starting to believe early on, and that's what you don't want, right? Because you've always said it, Joe. You've always said, I don't want to believe in this team until it comes playoff time.
Yeah.
But you had to have been impressed by Sunday night's game.
This is the thing with the Cowboys, me being a fan for all these years. Cowboys look impressive week 1 against the Giants. How upsetting would it be if the Cowboys lose to Zach Wilson and the Jets in week 2? You know?
Well, okay, let's talk about how that could possibly happen.
I'm saying it could, yeah.
Well, dude, I mean, a 9.5 point spread, I don't even think is enough. I think that the Cowboys have a 95% chance of winning that game. Like, all things would need to fall into place. Like, Dak Prescott would need to wet the bed. There would need to be massive amounts of turnovers for the Cowboys to lose that game.
And it's a home game. It's their home opener.
It is the home opener. And I remember the last time they played the Jets in New York, Cowboys were heavily favored, and they lost that game.
They lost it, yeah.
I remember RJ Ochoa and I made fun of him so bad because RJ said something to the effect of, there's no way in the world that the Cowboys are going to lose to the Jets. The Jets suck and blah, 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 blah. And it turns out the Jets, came to play. But this is Zach Wilson, and I'm optimistic that he's going to have a decent season. But it's going to take a while for him to get those reps in. He hasn't been practicing with the first team. That's been all Rodgers, man.
The thing is, working in the Cowboys' favor, Jets played on Monday. They have to play again that same week on Sunday.
Yeah, so they have one fewer day of rest.
Yeah.
But if there's one thing that you take a look at the Jets roster and you think to yourself, could this be something that the Cowboys have difficulty with?
The run.
Exactly. Breece Hall yesterday, 10 rushes, 127 yards. Welcome back from your injury. Dalvin Cook, when Dalvin Cook is your second best running back, now he had only 13 touches for 33 yards, but that is Dalvin Cook. He is new to the team. He just joined the last week of training camp. But man, Breece Hall and Dalvin Cook running wild. And then you see the receiving core, Garrett Wilson, who had one of the most amazing touchdown catches you'll ever see yesterday when he backhanded it and tapped it to himself. That was amazing. And then Alan Lazard, that's a good veteran guy out there. Breece Hall and Dalvin Cook combined for 4 receptions. You have Michael Carter, Tyler Conklin, got Randall Cobb. The Jets have some quality players out there. They've got a running game. You saw what the Giants are doing to the Cowboys in the first quarter. I know it was 40-0. But I think if you're the Jets coaching staff, you watch just the first 6 minutes of the game. What were they doing? They were running the ball forward.
It was interesting how they did that. So what they were doing is they were going ahead and stacking 2 up. They were double teaming the Cowboys defensive line. So they had, their guys double stacked in the front line of their O-line. And all they were doing is just pushing the line forward.
Just push it forward.
They just push it forward.
Push forward and find a hole.
Bam, boom, take off running.
And Saquon could squeak through. Now you have Breece Hall and Dalvin Cook. Kind of a thunder and lightning type of thing. Charlie Hernandez reaches out and says, Jets run game worries me. Don't sleep on their defense.
Exactly is what I'm saying. It's like I don't think it's going to be the blowout that Cowboys fans think it's going to be. I think it's going to be very tightly contested as far as the defense, and I think that Jets running game can give the Cowboys some fits. I'm not going to say that the Cowboys are going to just roll over them. They could, but I think it's going to be a little bit closer than people think.
You know what this reminds me of? Remember when Manny Pacquiao fought Juan Manuel Marquez, and Pacquiao was beating the living shit out of Marquez?
Yeah.
Marquez was bloodied up, but he got that one just random out of nowhere knockout punch to the face.
Came out.
And Pacquiao hit the canvas. That's the thing about the Cowboys versus the Jets. Pacquiao is the better fighter than Marquez, especially that night. It's just that one punch. Can they get that knockout punch there? Can the Jets keep it close? Can the Jets have long, sustained drives to tire out the Cowboys defense? Can the Jets defense force 2 or 3 turnovers from Dak Prescott? Can they dislodge the ball from Pollard's hands? Can Sauce Gardner shut down CeeDee Lamb? Okay, CeeDee Lamb, top 5, top 7 wide receiver out there. Sauce Gardner is basically today's version of Deion Sanders.
Yeah,
right?
He's good, man.
He is good. Super good. Did you see when Stephon Diggs tried to get that one first down towards the end of the fourth quarter?
Yeah.
And it was an offensive interference. When you see a wide receiver do a 2-hand push-off, you know that you are frustrated by what the defense is doing because you couldn't get open. That doesn't happen all the time. The Jets would need to have long, sustained drives. Zach Wilson cannot be throwing the ball away. Well, throw it away. Just don't throw it to the other DB.
Yeah, don't throw interceptions.
And he cannot fumble the ball.
Yeah.
And if they can run the ball, long, sustained drives, and if the Cowboys for some reason are giving the ball up and giving the Jets extra possessions, then it can be a close game.
Yeah.
But right now, Vegas has it as a 9.5 point spread.
Look at what Paul Cantu says. He says, "Are we discrediting Quinn's adjustments after the first 2 drives?" Not discrediting Quinn, and I think Quinn actually made some great adjustments after the Giants came out and kind of were showing that, hey, we can go ahead and kind of power you guys with the run game. Going to go ahead and stack the line. Going to go ahead and push you guys forward. We're going to run. We're going to have our QB run for a couple yards here and there, to kind of change things up. But Quinn made some great adjustments, and the adjustment that he made is when he was bringing that blitz, he wasn't just bringing it from one side. He said, "Fuck this, we're going to bring the house."
Right.
So he brought it from all sides, and that game over after that.
And there is a positive and negative of that, because if you bring the house, you can actually stop a running back for a 2-yard loss. But if he gets by those 7 or 8 defenders, man, he's gone. There's nobody behind them. So that's a thing that the Cowboys are going to have to try to figure out, because you take a look at what the Jets have with Breece Hall and Dalvin Cook.
That means the middle of the field is wide open.
Yeah. And can Dak Prescott run an offense without CeeDee Lamb? Because CD is going to be locked down by Sauce Gardner. So, okay, you're trying to swing me on over and that this is going to be a good game. Maybe it's a good game for 2 quarters, but I think the dam will break. I think the Cowboys are going to win big.
Yeah. If the Jets can't control time of possession, I mean, this one's over. Mm-hmm. That's basically it, because if you have your defense out there, no matter how good they are, if that time of possession's in the Cowboys' favor, that defense is going to get tired. And pretty soon, the dam's going to break, and there's going to be holes opening up. Mm-hmm. Guys are going to cramp up, can't keep up anymore. It's all she wrote.
The letdown game is also a big thing as well. When you have an emotional win, dude. See, that's the thing. You can kind of say that it's a letdown game potential for both of those teams.
The Cowboys can't take the Jets, and they can't just say, "Oh, this is an easy win." You got to take them serious.
Well, I think the Cowboys look around at the NFC and think to themselves, we've got to keep pace with the Eagles. We got to keep pace with the Niners. I remember last year, Cowboy fans telling me, calling into the radio station saying, "You know what? It's okay that the Cowboys are down 2 games because we got the Eagles in week 16. And I kept telling them, there's a 2-game difference. Even if they win game 16 or the 16th game of the season, the Eagles are still up a game. It's okay. They'll lose 1 and we'll catch them.
Yeah.
No. That's not how it works. You have to control your own destiny. And right now, the Cowboys have to look over and go, damn it, the Eagles won. Damn it, the Niners won. We can't let these guys get a game or 2 ahead of us. I think the Cowboys learned a lot from last year. Yeah. I think Dan Quinn's the truth. I think Dan Quinn knows how to scheme, and he knows how to react, and he knows his personnel. He knows his personnel strengths and weaknesses and is building stuff around it. And I think Mozzie Smith, now having 1 game under his belt, is going to get better, not get pushed around as much. It's going to be a very, very good game. And you saw Stephon Gilmore already get his first interception. Now, the one thing that I don't want to see, as Chris Leija points out on our YouTube chat, is whoever's doing the game, whoever wins, don't call it an asterisk.
Oh
my God. It happened
Jeez,
last night.
Man.
Mike Tirico on Thursday.
He needs to shut the hell up.
And then yesterday, man. Monday Night Football, it's like, well, I mean, there's an asterisk to it because on that punt return for a touchdown, there was a penalty that could have been called at the 31, 32-yard line for a leg whip. First of all, that guy was not going to catch shit, okay? Secondly, even if that was a penalty, they're still in field goal range.
Yeah.
Makeable field goal range.
And can I say, by the way, I hate watching games with Joe Buck and fucking Troy Aikman, dude. God.
Troy Aikman.
He's got those big ass sausage fingers.
Sausage fingers, yeah. What is that all about? The kielbasa fingers.
That's the first thing I notice every time he picks his hands up and he's talking and he's animated. I'm like, good God, man. Put those things away, dude.
Do you know what I was watching last night? I accidentally DVR'd the game. Not on KSAT, but I DVR'd it on ESPN, and I was stuck watching the first half of the game on Manningcast. That is awful. Manning cast sucks so bad. It's like dad joke upon dad joke upon dad joke. And it's so bad. Although I do find it interesting because whenever a good play would happen, I would go back into the Manning cast and then rewind to see what they would say. That game-winning punt return for a touchdown that the Jets had, Manning called it at the 45-yard line. He was saying, walk off. And then Eli Manning kind of looked at him. He was like, yeah, that was a walk-off punt return for the victory there. And, dude, how exciting was it to see that field goal kick hit the upright and somehow
the
go
doink,
in?
Bing, come back in.
I tweeted at Carolina Teague and I said, that's how you do a doink, girl. She got all pissed off. She says she was triggered.
She didn't even answer my call last night. I tried calling her to see if she's gonna do Tuesdays. She finally calls me after she's getting out of the bowling. And she's like, I'm lost my voice. I was screaming. I'm like, oh Lord.
Oh, she took a photo and posted it on Instagram of her with Karen Parsons.
Oh, I saw
Catherine
that.
Parsons,
she told me from Saved by the not from Saved, but Fresh Prince.
Fresh Prince.
Hillary from Fresh Prince.
Hillary Banks, baby.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She was telling me that, and then she said she was talking with Frank Harris.
That's true. Who, by the way, I learned this week calls himself Sub-Zero.
Oh,
I had no idea. Where did Sub-Zero come into play from? All right, it is. We got about another 10 minutes to go in the show. I had no design to do this show because I joke all the time how I show up 5 minutes before the show starts and we don't have much, but I know in my head what we're going to talk about, right? I wasn't even going to do this show because we start off at noon. I called you at what time? 11:53?
11:53. Hey,
I had a client meeting over at the gyms on Petranco and 1604. Yeah. So it's like maybe 10 minutes from here.
Yeah.
And I'm getting in my car, I'm turning it on, and I see it's 11:50, and I'm like, in theory, I could make it out there to do the show.
Yeah.
But it's Tuesday, Carolina's going to do it, and then I called you, and you didn't answer. You called back, and you were like, because at this point, I went into the car wash, and you were like, oh, Carolina could make it today. And I was like, well, who's going to be on? Who's going to be on? He goes, well, I'm flying solo for most of it. And I'm like, dude, I'm like 8 minutes away.
Yeah.
I'll be over there. So you left the door open for me. And yes, I did sing the song, gonna leave the door open for me to come in and just bullshit about sports and pop culture. But since we have 10 minutes left, we haven't gotten nasty yet. We haven't gotten Nestio yet.
Man. Oh, let me say this, man. The other week, on Sunday, when we're doing the Fantasy Gods, I called a parlay, right?
Yeah.
And I was talking with Brandon Medina, Big Papi, right? And he's like, bro, are you serious, man? He goes, that's a good parlay. And I'm like, look, I'm picking the Cowboys over the Giants, Green Bay, picking them over the Bears, and I got the Jets winning over the Bills. And he's like, bro, if you bet $25, the payout is 162. And I'm like, I'm telling you, man, I got a good feeling about this one. So then I guess he put some money on it. He won. He's like, that's why you need to listen to the Fantasy Gods.
Dude, I feel bad for my nephew. My nephew had an 8-team parlay, and it was only for a few bucks, right? But it was like 70-something to 1 odds.
Yeah.
And he needed the last game, which was the Packers against the Bears. And he took the Bears money line to win the game. And I was like, dude, no, the Packers own the Bears.
No, man.
I think Carolina Teague was absolutely correct when she said that the PR team for the Bears is like badass because they got people believing that the Bears have a chance this year.
Oh, man.
What's all with the Mortal Kombat? What's that all about?
Because Sub-Zero, it's a character they have from the Mortal Kombat.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
I was a Scorpion guy.
Scorpion.
Now, what was the one? Get over here.
That was Scorpion.
That was Scorpion, and then I liked Cyrax.
Okay. I was a Baraka fan. I like the blades that Baraka had, and I like Reptile because he would spit acid at you.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, okay, so is it Johnny
Cage?
Johnny Cage. I didn't realize. I saw a TikTok about this the other day saying that Johnny Cage was likened by Jean-Claude Van Damme. It was supposed to be Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yeah.
It's like they basically did a Control-C, Control-V, copy and paste.
Yeah.
But I saw this TikTok the other day, God, you know what? If I could find it and send it to you right now, it would be the funniest thing to end the show with, because it was about the fact that the what's his face? Van Damme was in these movies. What movies was he in? He was in Bloodsport. He was
Universal Soldier,
dude.
Time Cop.
Dude, I had no idea. I've never seen any of these movies. I've never seen a Jean-Claude Van Damme movie in my entire life.
Really?
And I thought it was the funniest thing ever to see Van Damme acting.
Oh yeah, dude. He wasn't much of an actor. Oh, Lionheart is probably the movie that you need to watch. You'll get a kick out of that one. Dude's fighting in a fucking swimming pool, bro. Like a drained out pool. And he's like a street fighter fighting for cash. You need to see that movie. You need to see that one. You like that one.
Dude, none of those movies did anything for me, man. Jonathan C saying Street Fighter.
Yeah.
Some of those games, though, man. Mortal Kombat was a good game.
Yeah, it was. I liked Street Fighter. Street Fighter was my thing, dude. We used to get down on some Street Fighter. Like me and my boy, we had our own controllers.
Yeah.
And we would just walk in the summertime. I had a basketball in my hand. I had my SNES controller in the other. Man, we were just picking up games for money, playing guys for money, betting on the games, and on the fights. I
was a Contra guy, dude. Contra, up, down, left, right, BA select start.
Yeah.
We both get 30 guys. Did you know that to get to Mike Tyson and Mike Tyson's Punch Out, it is 007-373-5963. I am 46 years old. I haven't played Mike Tyson's Punch Out in 30 years, and I still remember 007-373-5963. It's just so stupid.
Yeah,
it's so stupid. I remember going to Ingram Square, and they had a movie theater there. Remember back in the day, Ingram Park Mall had a movie theater.
Oh yeah,
across the street by the Chuck E. Cheese and the Showbiz.
It's right where the Milan Institute is at.
Yes,
now.
Yeah. There used to be a game called Track and Field.
Oh, I remember.
Oh my God! Just like play with two fingers.
You get carpal tunnel doing that, man.
It's like, I'll do the running, you do the hurdle.
Yeah. They used to have that game. It was for the NES, and it had like a little gamepad that you would run on and stuff. That was crazy.
John C. reached out saying Jean-Claude played Colonel Guile,
yeah, in a terrible Street Fighter movie.
Dude, Jean-Claude Van Damme, I was excited by that TikTok. I got to send it to you. Maybe we'll show it on Friday.
You know what we need to get back to, man? We need to get back to you and your reviews, your movie reviews.
Yeah.
The retro movie reviews. Because the last time you reviewed a movie, what was it? The one with Chuck Norris?
Oh, yeah.
Delta Force.
Delta Force.
Yes.
And I liked it. Mikey likes it.
You like that freaking motorcycle shooting the freaking missiles? It was all sideways.
Yeah, I was like, how is it shooting diagonally? It's like they would show like from the front end that it's not diagonal. So is the missile doing a curve? Is it heat seeking? What is this shit?
And then the sound that the missile would make. I was like, oh my God, man.
Dude, back by popular demand, I will bring back the movie review, but there's got to be also, we have no honey topics today.
Oh, yeah, man.
No nuggets.
You got to have some horny talk.
There was somebody who asked a question earlier about.
You had the top 10 or the top 5 that you had for the NFL.
Oh, my power rankings.
Power rankings. They said you need to bring the power rankings for the hot women.
Okay, this is off the top of my head, right? Top of my head. Now, are we talking about just like movie stars, celebrities?
Could be whoever, dude.
Okay, so top of my head. Number 1, Ana de Armas. She's been number 1 for a long, long time. 8 years ago, I saw War Dogs, and I thought to myself, that is my celebrity crush. I have no idea who she is.
That's your girl.
Everybody jumped on board. Number 2, say Sydney Sweeney.
She cute.
She's cute, dude.
She cute.
Number 3, Dua Lipa. Now, I will say this about Dua Lipa. Interesting fact about her. She's had 3 huge hits in the United States. Neither of them went number 1. They were number 2, number 2, and number 2. But the weird thing was that Levitating, that song that came out last year, was the number 1 song of the year on Billboard, even though it never went number 1. It It was like the third time in history a number 2 song was the number 1 song overall for the year because it never went away. So let's see. I got Ana de Armas 1, 2 I've got Sydney Sweeney, 3 I've got Dua Lipa. God, I need a 4 and a 5, man, to fill out the power rankings.
Let's see. Got to dig deep here, man.
Got to dig deep. I mean, there's some beautiful ones, like Zendaya, I think is beautiful.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't put her in the top 5. I wouldn't put her in the top 5. You know, I mean, I might go retro. Dude, I still see a 56-year-old Salma Hayek. And I'm like, oh my God, she never aged.
No, she still looks good.
They never aged.
57-year-old Shania Twain still looking good, dude.
Dude, I saw a commercial for her yesterday. And because she has that concert, that residency over in Las Vegas. And I saw her and I thought, wow, she doesn't look the same. She still looks really pretty, but she doesn't look the same. Like there's something different. I don't know if she had cosmetic surgery.
I think she might have, dude.
Or she had Botox or something.
Yeah.
Still very pretty.
Still looks good.
Dua Lipa can't dance worth shit. So she's hot, man. Dua Lipa is hot. Sydney Sweeney, you know, she's this generation's version of Scarlett Johansson. But she is. And Ana de Armas is basically this generation's version of Sofia Vergara.
You know who's cute, man? I like that Alexandra Daddario. And also, man, Jessica Alba still got it, dude.
And Jessica Alba is a billionaire on top of that.
She is.
Alexandra Daddario is very pretty. There's a movie that she's in that I saw on Netflix. It was like a Netflix original movie. It was with her and Adam Devine, the guy from Pitch Perfect. And it was about the fact that he has always had a crush on her and has always been friend zoned. It was a good movie, man. It's a good movie. Alexandra Daddario, dude, she's a nugget.
Charlie Henderson.
Charlie Hernandez coming out and saying Jennifer Lawrence. You know what? I'm not going to argue it. Jennifer Lawrence has a funny personality. You can tell that girl is threatening to every woman out there because she can take your guy.
And she's funny.
Not only is she hot, she's funny.
Yeah.
I have a thing for Anna Kendrick and her best friend, Aubrey Plaza. You know, I like those quirky personalities right there. And then, of course, Felicia Combs from the Weather Channel.
Oh, God. Look, you got Jonathan C. saying, will you be at the UTSA game Friday, Mike?
I don't know if I'm allowed after that fight that I was in, Section 110.
Mike enjoys friend zone movies.
Dude, you know, I've had game before and I've also resided in the friend zone, man. I've done both, man. I've served time in the friend zone before. Sometimes you break out of it, sometimes you don't. It is what it is.
You know, I wanted to talk about this too, because this news broke yesterday, right? So this was something that I saw pop up on my Twitter feed, or the X, like they call it now. Kevin Porter Jr., man.
Oh my God,
dude!
Yes,
he got arrested for not allegedly. He did beat up his girlfriend, ex-WNBA player. And look at the I guess the description of what he did to her. He beat her with a closed fist, cutting her above the right eye, causing bruising, substantial pain, forcibly squeezed her neck, leading to difficulty breathing, redness, bruising, according to a criminal complaint. And then another post that I saw said that she also suffered a broken bone.
And apparently wasn't the first time.
Yeah.
It wasn't the first time. And this is somebody who was supposed to get some quality minutes with the Houston Rockets.
He's done.
Now Amen Thompson gets to fill in the role there.
Yeah, this boy's done. He's donezo, man. He's gone.
Yeah. And so will I be at the UTSA game? We shall see. We shall see. What about that redhead from Catch Me If You Can? I've seen that movie so many times. What redhead does she think?
Oh, let me see if I can get it.
Oh, is it Amy Adams?
No, it's another one.
Elizabeth Banks is also in that movie. And so is Jennifer Garner. Kind of sad that I know all the hotties from that movie. But I've seen that movie way too many times. It's my daughter's favorite movie.
see if I can get the cast.
Now, the only redheads I can think of. Let's real fast think about redheads real fast.
Yeah.
You got Jessica Chastain. You've got Bryce Dallas Howard, who's got the biggest booty that you can ever find. I mean, that is like goodness, right? What was that one singer, BB Rexa? It's like BB Rexa's mirror image. But then you also have Christina Hendricks.
Yeah.
If you want to go classy,
Isla Fisher's kind of hot, dude.
Dude, I love her, dude.
She's hot.
Married to Borat.
She's hot, dude.
She's in a movie called Definitely Maybe with Ryan Reynolds. If you want to know about a movie about being in the friend zone, that's one of them. Ryan Reynolds plays a good friend zone guy. He was in Just Friends with Amy Smart. That was a good movie too. I'm not saying it's a great movie, but it passes the time. It's a good date night movie.
Yeah.
Jonathan C. saying Julianne Moore. He's into the classics.
Oh, she's cute.
Julianne Moore. I remember her from the Dirk Diggler movie.
Oh, yeah, I know that one.
Boogie Nights. There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
OG hottie, Jennifer Love Hewitt, dude.
Okay,
first of all,
hot,
Charlie Hernandez. Here's the thing about J. Love Hewitt. From 1995 or 96 all the way to about 2010, she was in my Mount Rushmore. She's got hit by her face got hit with a bag of nickels recently, dude. It is just not the same anymore, man.
Wow. This is no lie here by Tim Gonzalez. Kelly from Saved by the Bell and Kimberly from the Power Rangers. Those are still hot women.
Now is Kimberly the pink Power Ranger?
Yeah, dude.
I have no idea.
The original Pink Ranger.
I never saw Power Rangers growing up. Mario reached out saying Margot Robbie is still his number one. Margot Robbie, who, by the way, I saw The Big Short the other day on Netflix.
Yeah.
I'd seen it before, but I forgot that she makes a cameo on there.
Yeah.
She's amazing, dude. She's amazing.
Yeah.
Baez, I'm not going to say that, baby. Not going to say that. But we know why we love Jennifer Love Hewitt.
No lies detected.
But this has been fun. Thank you for letting me come in and storm the castle.
Yeah.
Because like I said, 7 minutes before the show started, I was like, dude, I'm 10 minutes away. I can be there if you want me to. And you're like, screw it. Come on in.
Yeah.
So, but I'll be doing, it looks like Mondays and Fridays.
Yeah.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, probably not. But if I'm in the neighborhood or whatever the case would be, yeah, I'll swing on by. Thanks for entertaining me, and thanks for letting me entertain you guys. Again, you can follow me on Twitter at MJ Acquired Taste. Two Shots Podcast. Don't forget for Joe Garcia. Again, don't forget to follow our friends over at Locked On Spurs.
Yeah, Fantasy Gods too,
Fantasy Gods. We forgot to say hello to Serenity Manor, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Let's go ahead and say hello to Serenity Manor.
Serenity Manor.
Do that right now.
Social events venue over there in Old Town Helotes, 14405 Old Bandera Road. Again, Christmas is coming around the corner. It's kind of hard to believe that, right? It is September right now. We've got Halloween coming up next month. Then we've got Thanksgiving. And then we've got Christmas. So if you have a corporate Christmas party that you need a place to be at, 100, 150 people, something like that, or right around there, go to Serenity Manor over in Old Town Helotes, 14405 Old Bandera Road. If you're looking for a baby reveal, what's it called? Gender reveal, if you will. If you're looking for a baby shower, if you're looking for a quinceañera, sweet 16, a wedding reception, a corporate event, indoors, outdoors, or mix of the two, Serenity Manor, 14405 Old Bandera Road. Don't forget to visit their bar as well. On Thursday nights, they have karaoke night or a game night. They kind of alternate between the two. They'll have a food truck out there as well. They serve beer, they serve wine, they serve margaritas. Serenity Manor, 14405 Old Bandera Road. And thank you again to our sponsors for the Fantasy Gods, Mad Packer Brewery, Mudslingers, and Bear County Social Apparel. Visit all of them on Instagram or follow them on Twitter as well. And Bear County Social Apparel, Mike Baez, thank you so much for the Photoshop of me with Annie Agar. I think I'm actually going to text that to her.
Oh, God, you should, dude. That was hilarious.
Did I say that I was going to tweet it at her? Or did I say I was going to text her?
You said you were going to text her. I caught that.
I kid, maybe not. No, she's great. She's great. She's done a lot for me, and she's reached out to my daughter one time before, so does a very good job, and she's been very, very nice to work with. That's why I was protective of her when people were giving me shit about her on Twitter back in the day. It's not because like Paige Spronick, I met her one time. I'll never meet her again. Chances are I'll meet Annie Agar yet one more time or 10 more times because she's good people. My name is Mike Jimenez. That is Joe Garcia. This is the Alamo City Sportscast on the Alamo City Podcast Network. See you guys tomorrow.
We're out, fellas. Peace.